Welcome to my channel, Licensed Immigration. It's time to renew your green card. This guide will help you determine how and when you need to renew. Before we get into this, how to renew a green card, let's examine the important difference between a conditional green card and a green card. The conditional green card, there are two categories of immigrants who are first given conditional permanent residency. Number one, marriage-based. If you apply for a green card based on marriage to a U.S. citizen and you've been married less than 2 years at a time, you apply. USCIS will first issue you a conditional green card. Number two, entrepreneurs, investors. If your green card is based on investment, you will also first receive a conditional green card. The conditional green card is good for 2 years. During the 90 days before the card expires, you must file a petition to USCIS to remove the conditions of your residency. You can renew a 2-year green card. You must apply to have the conditions removed. If your green card with conditions, the first thing you need to do is apply to have the conditions removed. In this channel, there's a video where I show you guys how to fill out this form to remove conditions. If that's your case, please go to this channel and look for the video to remove the conditions and watch the video fully. The 10-year green card, no conditions. All other immigrants categories receive regular non-conditional green cards. They're valid for 10 years. Now your status as a permanent resident doesn't expire, but the card does, and you need to go through a renewal process. If you have a regular green card, the renewal process is pretty straightforward. You have just to use this form, the one that you could see on your screen, the Form I-90, Green Card Renewal. Today I'm going to explain how to fill out this form. The best part of all, you could do it online and you could do it by mail. If your green card, the card showing that you are a U.S. lawful permanent resident, is about to expire once again, or you have lost it, or if it has been stolen or destroyed, you need to apply for a new one. Not only this card is a convenient way to prove your identity, as well as your eligibility to work in the U.S. and return to the U.S. after foreign travel, but the law requires you to carry your green card with you all the time. As you can see, this form expires 7/31/2019, but you could still use this form because USCIS haven't renewed this form. How often your green card will expire? U.S. green card expires every 10 years. It's best to plan ahead and apply for renewal when the expiration date on your green card is 6 months into the future. If that date has already passed, don't panic. You're still a permanent resident, but apply as soon as possible. Nonetheless, the only people who should panic at the past expiration date are conditional residents, whose green cards show a 2-year expiration. Their status really does expire at the end of the 2 years unless they take steps to become conditional residents, as explained. Now, let's look at the various questions on this form, and I will explain the best that I can. I already filled in this form. I'm just going to go through it really quickly with you guys. Also, I want to aware you guys, USCIS doesn't want you guys to leave anything in blank, so you must fill everything. Don't leave no space in blank. And if it doesn't apply to you, the question, just do an A. So let's start. In part 1, information about you. This opening session is largely self-explanatory. First, you will need to enter your A number. As you can see, I did the A number, found on your green card and previous immigration paperwork. Your USCIS online account number. Don't worry if you don't have one. Many people don't. So if you don't have one, just do an A. And then your full name. Your card will be issued with this name, so verify how you write your name. Don't neglect to mention that the name changes are since you're getting your green card. This is important so that U.S. can both check your immigration records and enter the correct name on your new card. You'll also need to attach evidence of any name changes since you received your green card, such as court order, or if your name change was the result of marriage or divorce, the certificate or decree showing this. Okay? And then you will attach any name change. If you have a name change, just write the name here, okay? In 5A through 5C. In question 6, as you can see in the screen, ask for your mailing address. If you don't have a stable address or don't trust the mail delivery there, you can have a USCIS send a correspondence to you in care of someone else. That person name should go on line 6A. But if you choose that option, you will need to put the address of the actual place where you live in question 7. If you simply put your home address in question 6, you can leave question 7 blank. Okay, you write your mailing address, and it's different. If it's different, you write the physical address. But if it's the same, just do an A. Don't leave nothing in blank because USCIS now is denying many petition because now they don't want nothing in blank. And also, there's going to be a lot of delays now, especially for the coronavirus. And because USCIS had fired a lot of their personnel. In question A, is very easy question. It's biographical information about you. It's your gender, your date of birth, the city or town of birth, and the country of birth. Your mother name, only first name, in questions 12. In question 13, your father's name. In question 14, is really important. Class of admission. You will need to enter type of visa or remedy through which you get your permanent residence. It's easier to use the code for this. You will find yours listed on category. If you have a current style green card, some common codes include AS6 for Asili, IR1, as you can see that I used, for the spouse of a U.S. citizen, DV1 for diversity visa lottery immigrants, 11 for priority workers with extraordinary ability, E21 for professional holding an advanced degree or of exceptional ability, E31 for a skilled worker, IR2 for a child of a U.S. citizen, and RE plus a number for various types of refugee, and so on. In question 15, date of admission, ask for the date where you approved for U.S. permanent resident or enter the U.S. on an immigrant visa. Check your green card for this date under your residence since. In question 16 is your social security number. If you don't know your social security number, get your social security number card and you will see it in the middle of the card. In part 2, application type, in question 1, you need to check a box stating whether you either are lawful permanent resident, the regular sort covered in section A of the form, a permanent resident in commuter status, meaning you live near the U.S. border in either Canada or Mexico, but has special green card allowing travel back and forth, also covered in section A of the form, or a conditional resident, in which case you need to go to section B of the form, which offers a shorter list of choices, reflecting the fact that you cannot use this form to deal with the expiration of your card. Whether you use section A or B, pick one, only one box. To tell USCIS what you need on the new card, also, know the category you choose will determine what documents you need to include with your application, which documents are described in the USCIS instructions for the form. Okay. So now we're going to section A. For instance, if you were to choose section A, item 2H, I'm a commuter who's taking actual residence in the United States. Let me show you. See? The instruction will tell you that you need to provide proof of your U.S. address and will explain what types of documents will work for this. So you choose what it qualifies for you. Okay? In part 3, process information. This asks various questions about your receipt of residence. Okay? It asks you location where you apply for the immigrant visa, or adjustment status is where you filed your application. In 2, location where your immigrant visa was issued, where it was issued, what office. In 3, wait, I went up. Oh my god. Okay, here. In 3A, destination the United States at time of admission. And then 3A1, port of entry, where you was admitted in the United States. I didn't write anything there because I just did an example but didn't know what to put. So let's say your destination in the United States at the time of admission was New York, New York. So you write New York, New York. Port of entry, you'll write New York, New York. Or depends where's the airport you arrived in. In question 4, you could see there, ask you whether you have been in a proceeding immigration court. Green card holders can be deported from the U.S. for various reasons, such as commission of crimes and described in grounds of deportability, where legal U.S. residents can be removed. Presumably, you have regained a right to the U.S. residency, or you should not be filing out this form, at least not without an attorney guidance. So it's asking you if you have been deported, removed, or any proceeding from the United States. In question 5, which seeks to find out whether you have abandoned your U.S. residency by making your home in another country, you should absolutely see an expired immigration attorney before continuing with your I-90 application. If you have abandoned your permanent residence to another place, you will click yes or no. If yes, you must have to additional information. This is basic biographic information, ethnicity, race, height, weight, eye color, and hair color. So that's, every person is different. If you don't know your height or pound, try to get the approximately, at least an estimate. In part 4, accommodations for individuals with disability and impairments. This portion of this application shows that people who need extra support to get through the application process can get it. You will need to be called, for instance, for fingerprints. So if you have a disability or impairment that makes that difficult, in particular, accommodation can be arranged to make it easier for you. You're unlikely to be called in for an interview on the application through many accommodations that they have is one of them. So if you are disabled or you have an impairment, write it here, select it. If you're not, just click no, but if you're just, you must click whether you're deaf or blind or any disability that you guys have. In part 5, applicant statement, contact information, certification, and signature. This section serves to impress upon applicants that they need to know what they're signing. Even if you use an attorney or interpreter, you must sign and date your application and include ways to reach you if you forget. USCIS will return to you for your completion. Okay, so this means either you have a preparer and interpreter, you must always sign the application and write your contact information, date and telephone number, mobile telephone number, applicant email address, your email, and your signature in black ink once you print it out, and date of signature. In part 6, interpreter contact information, certification, and signature. If you had help with translating this form so that you could understand it in English, the interpreter will need to provide information here and sign. In part 7, let me go into part 7. Went up. In part 7 is for your preparer. Contact information, declaration and signature of the person preparing the application, if other than applicant, if an attorney, paralegal, notarizer, a notary, or other type of legal consultant prepare this form to you, that person must fill in and sign this section. Okay. Including the required evidence and fees, filling out this form I-90 and not the end of your task. When applying for a renewal or replacement green card, you will also need to submit supporting evidence as described in detail with the USCIS instructions. Most applicants will need to pay a filing fee for their new card. The exception is if USCIS makes a mistake. For example, you never send your green card or send your card with misspelled name or other wrong information. You also don't need to pay a fee if you're turning 14 and need to register, but your card will not expire before you turn 16. Most applicants will also need to pay the biometrics or fingerprinting fee, depending on the reason for their applying. If you never receive your card, you do not have to pay the biometric fee. The most of 2020, the fees were $455 for the application and $85 for biometrics. However, on October 2, 2020, these fees were set to change to $415 for the main application if it's filed by paper, and it's way better if you file online because way cheaper is $405 and the biometrics $30. It's wise to always check the forms page of the USCIS website of the latest fee. Also, in 2020, owing to coronavirus or COVID-19 pandemic, all USCIS offices were closed to in-person visit, including the support center doing biometrics. Expect delays until office reopen or other procedure can be developed. Like I said before, all the cases are delayed, and now that they are firing a lot of personnel, it's gonna be more slower than now. So don't hesitate. Don't worry that it's normal due to this time. There's a lot of things are going on in the world. And Form I-90 may be filed and paid for. You could do it online. You could file online and pay online by creating a USCIS account or mail to the USCIS. If you're mailing it, the address is in the website. Filing electronically can be convenient, but know that is not filing the form itself you have to deal with. You will also need to upload supporting documents electronically. Even if you file online, you must submit your supporting documents. So remember to subscribe to my channel, activate notification bell to receive notifications when I upload new video. Like, comment below, and share. And have a blessed day and stay safe.